Well, okay, folks, it is me, your world-famous realtor, Andrew Baxter of Lubbock Living in Lubbock, Texas, of course. Today, folks, we are covering the 6 things that you, yes, you must do if you are thinking about moving to Lubbock, Texas. Number 1, let's just get this out the gate. Do your research. You've got a wealth of research. You got Google.com, you got Bing, you got Yahoo, you got the internet. Use the internet, utilize it. There's a wealth of knowledge on there. Figure out what you like, what you don't like. A lot of people call me and they specifically want to talk about the crime. I would highly suggest you look at crime data statistics in Lubbock, geographically, where they are, and then think, maybe I don't want to move in that area. Maybe. You could always call me and ask me for that, but I'm going to send you to this link or this graph that you're seeing right now, and you could have done the same thing in like a couple seconds. Not that it's a big deal if I send it to you or not, but most folks call me and they're worried about crime or something like that. So it's imperative that you do your research. Also, guys, let me let you in on something. I've been making these videos for a long time now, and I think I kind of know what I'm talking about. That being said, watch other videos of mine that will educate you about the city. We've covered things like careers, fun things to do, places to live, all that jazz. We've covered it. If there's jazz, I'm playing the saxophone. I'm the lead sax player, just doing my thing, you know what I'm saying? Come on. So number 1 is gonna be do your research. This is number 2, and this is where ya boy is coming in to the equation. Find yourself a good realtor, and guys, guess what? You're listening to one right now as we speak. I think I'm a pretty good realtor. I like, you know, whatever. I'm not one to toot my own horn. You be the judge. Let me tell you why it's important to have a good real estate agent. Is 1, because you don't want someone who doesn't know what they're doing. And let me elaborate. A lot of people like to use their cousin or their niece or their nephew or their brother when they're just starting off. Now, I'm not saying don't work with your family. You need to abide by that rule. But don't just give someone a shot if they don't treat it as a full-time gig. Let me break this down for you. If you're maybe buying an investment property, you want to know and you want to get data and information and market information from someone who does it themselves. And you want to know from someone whose boots are on the ground, how much things cost, how much you can get in rent, price per square foot and rent by the neighborhood. You want to get someone who knows what the rental market is like, what the investing market is like, what potential deals you could get, how much lower you could potentially offer on something to get a really good deal. And a lot of times I've seen with new inexperienced folks is that they just don't know the answers to a lot of the questions they're gonna get. And then they can end up getting you. And listen, this is a very egotistical career, and I'm gonna say this boldly, is that 90% of the people in this career lack a shred of humility. I know over the camera that sounds really, really egotistical of me. However, I will say I don't know when I don't know something, but I've come across a lot of people who don't know Susie from Mary. They don't know how to be like, yeah, I just don't know that. Let me ask my broker or something like that. Not saying all of them, but I feel pretty confident 80 to 90% of folks don't. And that's me being honest. Because one thing I will be with you guys is honest. Another thing that fits into this thing of finding a good realtor is don't use, and this kind of goes in with a family, friends thing, don't use a part-time real estate agent. Do not use someone who just does it on the side or has another career job and whatever, and they just sell 1 or 2 houses a year or something. That is a recipe for disaster, okay? It just doesn't work. You want someone whose hands are constantly dirty, who's in the weeds, who's figured it out, who's got to do what they got to do in order to provide for themselves and their family and their precious little dog like mine. That's why I do it full time, and that's all I do. I don't do anything else. I'm just a real estate agent and an aspiring YouTube star, I guess you could say. But mostly real estate agent. If you are interested in moving to Lubbock and you're thinking about it, and you've done your research, you've followed step 1, if you've done your research, you know you want to move. If you look at the time zone and you look at Central Standard Time, whatever time zone, that's the time zone I'm in, which Texas is in, and it's like midnight, maybe just send me an email, don't give me a call. Because chances are I'm not gonna call you back the next day if you call me at midnight, because I do have a life. I love helping you guys. It is a huge joy in my life to help y'all, but just be cognizant of my time just a little bit. But email me. Email always works anytime. time. I'll see it the next day. You can ask some of my clients who are maybe watching this video. I usually respond pretty quick. But anyway, that's enough of that. That's just encapsulated all in number 2. Find yourself a good realtor, pick them. Those are some reasons and explanations of who a good realtor would be. Number 3, you're bought in. You're wanting to move to Lubbock. You love Lubbock. You're like, I'm moving here. Let's do this thing. Get in the van, get the beers, but not the driver's drink. The driver's not drinking, but everyone else. Actually, no one's gonna be drinking in the van, but the van's gonna drive down to Lubbock and then you're moving. And you wanna buy a house, but what do you do first? Well, prior to that, after you've talked to me and you're like, I'm moving, what do I do? We gotta know, are you selling your house where you're at? Do you wanna buy the house cash or do you wanna get a loan on it? If the answer is number 3, then what we're gonna do is set you up with my lending partner. His name's Cameron Lambo at Cross Country Mortgage. He's in the same office as me, which is why I love using him. He is right down the hall. If I got any problems whatsoever, he's helped countless numbers of my clients move to Lubbock. And I'm not gonna lie, him and I are kind of like yin and yang. We just go together. We're like peanut butter and jelly. But we're gonna get you in touch with him or any lender that you choose, but I would really be pulling for Cameron because he's the man. And we gotta see if you're getting a loan, how much you can buy. Because if you are starting to look at Zillow or I'm sending you an MLS client portal link and you're like, I love this house and it's $300,000, and then we get all your loan documents in and it comes back that you can only afford something up to $250, that's the only reason why we want to make sure that you're squared away and can get a solid loan in order to buy a house. A lot of people have loans, just what you do. Step number 4 is this. Whether you're looking on Zillow or whether you've been looking on Zillow for months, which a lot of folks do, or you call me and I've set up an MLS property search for you, both are good. Both help you get a certain amount of reconnaissance to the area, to the city, maybe to specific neighborhoods. The reason MLS searches are better is because the details that I can exclude or include in that are far superior than what Zillow has. So I can say house with a basement, this amount of square feet, this school district, yeah. Where Zillow, it's kind of more straightforward, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 250,000 price range, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So that's gonna be number 4 is we gotta figure out what you like and what you don't like. And then we can do it over the phone. I can take a video, I can FaceTime. You can come up to Lubbock, which we're gonna get to in a second. I've helped a lot of clients by just filming the house they like and then putting it on a Google Drive, which is a hassle for everybody, but I will do that for you because I'm that guy, pal. I mean, we can tell everything with video nowadays, right? We got social media, you can see it through the camera, you know. So a lot of times filming a house is decent enough. For some folks, it's not, which leads us to number 5. And that's gonna be, I recommend that if you're moving to Lubbock and you're buying a house, it is worth spending the money on an airplane ticket if you're out of state to do some reconnaissance. It is very important. Ideally, you've done this before, but if you haven't, that other stuff, getting approved for a loan, that's not really a hassle. That's not a big deal. And then me setting up a search, that's fine, whatever. At least it gets you an idea of what you like in a house. And then you can tell me to go look at something, I will. But come up to Lubbock, because if you don't like the city, chances are you're not gonna wanna buy a house. This is kind of like an insurance policy. And like I said, ideally you've been to Lubbock, ideally you've done this before, but if you've never been, I had to weave this in somewhere because I think it's very important that you at least try to make one trip out. Just to see, and then you can kind of test out the neighborhoods. Me or a member of my team can drive you around and show you what you like, what you don't like. We wear a lot of hats. We wear tour guide hats. We wear realtor hats. We wear a lot of dumb hats too, I guess. I mean, it happens sometimes, but that's what I would do, you know, just I had to weave that in there somewhere. Okay, number 6, we've made it to the very end, to the creme de la creme, to the final piece that we're talking about here. What I would do on number 6 is you're gonna buy a house. So that's it, buy your house. I'm gonna help you with the whole thing. If you need me to hold your hand, I will, and I'm a pancake or a waffle guy, whatever you want. I'll go like this, I'll go like that, or like this. I will hold your hand, get you through the entire thing, and it will be fun, it will be easy, unless some crazy things happen. For the most part, it's pretty easy. And I try to have a blast with all my clients because at the end of the day, you're moving into a house that you really like and that you love, well, ideally you love. And so you're gonna have a lot of joy from doing that. And then I'm gonna have a lot of joy because you're also doing that and you're being really happy, which is by by vicinity gonna make me very happy, but also I'm gonna make some money, and that's, everyone likes making money. If I'm being honest with you guys, I told you I was being honest earlier, and it's true. So that's great, and I'm gonna be really happy about that, and it's a lot of fun. Guys, those are the 6 things that are must-do's when you are thinking about moving to Lubbock. Do not hesitate to call me. My number is right here, or email me, or I've set up Calendly, so you can actually set up a virtual meeting with me on my calendar. It's on the homepage of my YouTube channel. Consider these things. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Toodles.